exports to multiple countries. And what this signals to our trade allies is be careful and beware. Because the last thing anyone wants to see, especially Asian countries and Asian people, is a dishonorment and a disrespect of people being literally carted out in chains on public television, on videos that's streaming right back home. They do not absolutely want to see their people put through anything like that again. And so the chilling effect, I do feel, will have significant ripple effects on our economy here in our country.
So as a Korean American, I've obviously taken an intense interest in the raid in Georgia on the LG Hyundai plant. But I also was able to visit Korea a few months ago on a congressional delegation trip. And even back then, I'll tell you that every time a tourist, whether Korean or not, was held up by ICE, whenever someone was mistreated, back then you may remember that the Trump administration was trying to deport students in this country who had misdemeanors, jaywalking, minor offenses, who were here on student visas. All of them were Asian American. I think there were like 150 in the University of California system alone. All of this, as you might imagine, was making front page news in the Korean newspapers. People were hyper aware of that. And of course, there's the fear element that we see with ICE and the fact that you have unmarked vans roaming around neighborhoods with masked people in them. And as someone in my community just remarked to me the other day, they're not sure when they see one of these vans if it's these gangs of burglars casing the neighborhood or whether it's ICE at this point. That's the point where we've gotten to as a society. But on the economic front, I will tell you, in addition to the fact that a lot of our goods are now rising in prices, construction costs are clearly going up, and that's driving a lot of the inflation as well. We're seeing a huge drop in tourism right now. We're seeing a drop in students coming to this country. I'm told, I represent the University of California, Irvine, and the number of foreign PhD students has immediately dropped to something close to zero. These are the best and brightest minds who are doing cancer research, aviation, leading technology companies. And of course, you all know that over half of the unicorn companies, billion-dollar plus startups in this country, were started by immigrants. We are losing that pipeline right now because of the ICE raids, coupled with the huge cuts to research funding. We are seeing a drop in tourism. I met with the South Asian Hotel Owners Association just yesterday, and one of them, in addition to owning hotels in my district, also owns some in the area where the raids in Georgia had happened. And he told me that overnight, that night, 20% of their bookings were canceled when that news leaked out. We are seeing drops in tourism reported. I was talking to my local Huntington Beach Chamber of Commerce. They are reporting something like a 10 to 15% drop right now in foreign tourism. And everybody's concerned in California, in Southern California, that the World Cup and Olympics, which were supposed to be huge draws for our local economy, are going to see really muted tourism because of the fears of ICE right now. So those effects really are aggregating, and in a district that relies heavily on tourism, relies heavily on really smart minds building new companies, we're seeing just a ton of impacts to our jobs. Hotels are closing down. We're seeing a lot of tourism-related businesses suffering. And of course, we're very worried about the next generation of innovation companies that are not going to come out of our universities because of these policies.
I want to thank Grace Mang and Dave Min and Joe Takuda for their great work in pushing back against the reckless raid at the Hyundai plant in Georgia. Based on public reporting, a number of these workers had legitimate B-1 visas that allow them to work in the United States. And there is a gray area because the B-1 visa allows you, for example, to basically help put in Korean machinery that they need to operate these plants. Well, does that mean you can tell someone how to do it, but you can't yourself actually touch that piece of equipment and put it in? Who knows? It's a gray area, it's ambiguous. But what the administration did is, instead of trying to work it out with Hyundai and how people interpret B-1 visas, they launched the most massive raid ever on people with legitimate B-1 visas, shackled them up, made them do this completely embarrassing, disrespectful walk in shackles, and it was completely disrespectful to South Korea. Now the administration has had to walk that back. And so people need to be fired at ICE, who authorized this reckless, stupid raid that's now causing other countries to not want to invest in the United States. It's going to cause a loss of American jobs. And if you have a dispute on a B-1 visa, well, let's have it out in the open and tell the companies, look, we interpret this in a way no other administration has chosen to interpret it. But don't embarrass the people who are here and you're going to prevent investment in the United States, and that's just dumb.
Your colleague Adam Smith says he'll likely go to China this month, and President Trump is expected to call President Xi tomorrow. And since so many Asian American businesses import from China, is there any sort of message or action that you would like to see either from Smith or Trump in terms of engaging with Beijing?
I don't know the specifics. I haven't talked to Ranking Member Smith yet. But look, this is a common goal of all of our Democratic caucus and CAPC, of course, is to support and expand and boost manufacturing in the United States. What the Trump administration has done so far has not helped that. In fact, jobs in the manufacturing sector have actually decreased in this Trump administration. So as he is going over there to talk about making sure that America has the upper hand, we must make sure here in the United States that there is not a target put on the backs of Chinese Americans or Asian Americans. The rhetoric that we use coming out of those talks and afterwards is very important as well.